Whew! It's a hot summer's day in Calgary and you're looking to cool off. But what are you going to do? Don't worry, there are lots of options to get wet and cool off in Calgary. You just need to know where to go. Growing up in Calgary, I was very jealous of my friends who lived in lake communities and can go to the lake every day during the summer. But just because you don't live in a lake community, you can still get wet and have fun during the summer. Of course, if being by the lake is your top priority, view my other video that talks about Calgary's man-made lake communities by clicking on the link above. We have 2 rivers, one public lake in the city, and one public lake just outside the city. So don't worry, I will help you find a way to cool off. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and ring the bell. First, you have to choose your watercraft, and you have many choices. Rafts, boats, canoes, paddleboards, and kayaks. But should you rent a raft, buy a raft, or any of the other watercrafts? Well, it's up to you and your budget and how many people you want to go with. But if you buy, don't forget to buy paddles, which are not always included, and a life jacket, which is required by law on any of the public waterways in the city. Make sure you watch to the end to find out all the places in Calgary that you can go to cool off. This is Andrew Campbell from Real Broker. Don't gamble, call Campbell. The first, and arguably the most popular river to float down, or for hanging out, is the Elbow River. But where do you get in? Where do you get out? And is it dangerous? The first thing to know is that the Elbow River is very shallow, so it's great for kids. It is a very mellow float, with the most challenging part being trying to avoid getting hung up on the rocks in the shallow waters. The best place to put in and to give you the longest float and the most options for getting out is to start at Sandy Beach, located just below the community of River Park. This is an easy place to get into the water, and at the end of the day, a great place to come back to for a picnic or barbecue. And if your kids are not tired yet, they can play in the new playground that is one of the best in the city. Getting out is easy as well, and you have many places to exit the river at the end of the day. My favorite is the MNP Community and Sports Center in the Mission community of Calgary, although there are many other options as well, depending on how long you want to float. For a shorter float, you can get out at Stanley Park, where you will see many people enjoying the manicured lawns that come right down to the river's edge. For a longer float, you can go right past the Calgary Stampede grounds and float right to the Bow River. This gives you a very different view of the city, while you float by many of the upscale homes backing onto the river. The important thing to keep in mind is that the time it takes for your float depends on the water level. In my opinion, the only time to go is at the end of June or the beginning of July, when the water level is the highest. This makes for a faster float, and your backside will appreciate not hitting as many of the rocks in the river. Let me know in the comments below your experience. The float will take you between 2 to 5 hours, depending on the water level and where you want to get out. But just remember that although the water is only ankle deep in many places, you must wear a life jacket.
So it's a hot day in Calgary and you're wondering what you can do to cool off. Well, one of the very popular things to do is to go rafting. Today we're going rafting down the Bow River. We're starting at Shoaldice Park and we're going to be going all the way to downtown Calgary. One thing to remember is make sure you have your life jacket, as these are required in Calgary. If they catch you without a life jacket, you'll get a ticket. Okay, let's go.
Over the past few years, the Bow River has become the #1 place to float in Calgary, with many companies renting rafts for a relatively cheap price. This is a good option if you plan to only go once or to try if you don't know if you will like it or not. Inflatable rafts are very cheap to buy as well, depending on the size and quality. The prices can range from $25 all the way up to $400 or more. So you can decide by the number of people in your group and how often you would like to go. The more expensive rafts will last you many years, and the cheaper rafts will likely have to be replaced each year or so. So the cheaper rafts might be a good choice if you don't know if you will like it or how many times you want to go. So, where do you start and where do you finish? The most popular place to start is by the Shoaldice Park in Montgomery District. Here you will find many places to park, as well as an easy place to put your raft or other watercraft into the water. There is also a raft rental company here that will rent you a raft and arrange to pick you up at the end of your float and bring you back. For a bit longer float, another place to start is at Bowness Park, although parking may be a bit limited and it is a bit crowded. A third option is at Edworthy Park if you want to make your float a bit shorter. There's lots of parking both on the north and south sides of the river, and a bridge to let you start on either side of the river, although it is easier to get into the river from the north side. Let me know in the comments your favorite place to start. Getting out is another question. The first time I made the mistake of opting for the longest float by getting out along the river in the Inglewood area, although it is difficult to spot where the best exit point is, and the banks of the river are very steep and the water is running very fast. On my second float, I decided to get out just before Prince's Island Park, as the river passes through the downtown area. There are lots of places to get out on the south side of the river, as the river is moving very slowly in this area. If you are going with 2 cars, there is free parking on the streets to the north of the river in the Sunnyside area. Or you can catch an Uber back to your car for about $15, which is very cheap and convenient. It will take you 1.5 to 4 hours, depending on where you want to get in and where you want to get out. And it's always good to add another hour to allow the time for you to inflate your boat and get back to your starting location. The City of Calgary has made an accessible area for beginner to intermediate rafters, kayakers, and paddleboarders to go in the Inglewood community in southeast Calgary, close to downtown. You can even just float down the river in a life jacket.
Hey, today we're at Harvey Passage. Now you want to get wet and you want to have some excitement, well, this is the place to come. It's a man-made area made by the City of Calgary, whitewater rafting area. For some whitewater fun and action, Harvey Passage is the place to come.
You can park in the large parking lot at Pierce Estate Park, and a short walk will take you to the river and the excitement. This area has a great party atmosphere, with many spectators watching and cheering on those willing to try their skill. This is considered a Class 2 rapid, suitable for beginners and intermediates wanting to try out their new boats, rafts, and paddleboards. Beside this, to the east, is a Class 3 rapid, which is only recommended for experienced kayakers. Don't try this part of the river unless you are very experienced.
If you find my video interesting and valuable for anybody thinking about moving to Calgary, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It helps me and it helps other people to find this video. Please leave a message in the chat as I read every message.
For public lakes in the city, there are fewer options with only one public lake, Sakomi Lake in southeast Calgary. This is a small lake, but is totally surrounded by sandy beaches, so you can always find a place to pitch your chairs or lay down on your blanket. There is also a clubhouse here with a concession stand, but don't wait until the end of the day as they are sold out of food early and the stand closes around 5 p.m. The cost to go to the lake is very reasonable, at $5 per person or $10 per family, and the sandy beach is well maintained, although the sand is a dark brown and not the most beautiful. The lake water is also filtered to keep it clean and is tested regularly. There is also a tot lot and public toilets and showers around the lake. The only other public lake near to Calgary is Chestermere Lake, just 5 to 10 minutes to the east of the city. Although not in the city, it is very close and is the only other public swimming area with a sandy beach.
Chestermere Lake is another one of the lake communities in and around Calgary. Chestermere Lake is only 3 kilometers east of the city, 5-minute drive, so very convenient to the city. Let me show you around. Chestermere Lake, great place to come with the family. Very nice sandy beach. They've added in a lot of sand here. Fantastic place to come in the summer.
The city of Chestermere maintains the lake and beach area, where you can chill out on the sand or have a barbecue at the limited number of picnic tables beside the beach. The sandy beach is a brown color, but it is clean. However, a word of warning, don't go there early in the spring as the water level is kept very low to allow for spring runoff. As well as picnic tables, the grounds are very well manicured and there are public toilets. There is lots of free parking in the community center parking lot across the street, although it is recommended to park in the unpaved area, as the paved parking is for people using the community center. This lake is also very popular for boaters, so stay within the protected swimming area. There are also many great splash parks and wading pools, which are great for younger children, plus public outdoor swimming pools in the city. So no matter where you live in the city, you can get wet and cool off on a hot summer's day.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to see my other videos, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of the next video on my channel, Living and Moving to Calgary, Alberta.